Tom lived on the edge of the farming colony. His small house stood near the forest. Far from the busy town, he worked as a field medic, helping people when machines or tools hurt them. Most days were quiet. He liked the silence. He liked to fix things with his hands. He liked to listen to the wind and watch the stars. One evening, while he sat outside with a warm drink, he saw something strange in the sky. A bright light moved across the clouds. It wasn't a shooting star. It was faster and bigger. The light turned red, then orange, and finally a sharp white. It made a loud sound as it crashed into the distant hills. Tom stood up. His drink fell to the ground. He grabbed his old bag with supplies, a flashlight, and a small radio. Then he walked toward the hills. No one else came. The town was quiet. People stayed in their homes. They didn't like strange things. But Tom's heart told him to go. It took him nearly an hour to reach the crash site. The trees near the hilltop were burned. Smoke rose into the air. The grass was black in places. In the center of the burned area was a broken pod. It looked like a small ship. The metal was not from Earth. It was smooth, silver, and had markings Tom didn't understand. He walked closer, careful not to touch anything. Hot! Then he heard a soft sound, a cry, a voice. Tom turned his light toward the wreck. There, lying half outside the pod, was a figure. Not a machine, a person, or maybe not a person. She looked human, but not fully. Her skin had a soft teal color, like the sea. Her eyes were closed. Her shoulder was badly burned. Tom dropped to his knees beside her. She was still breathing, but weakly. Her clothes were thin and strange. Her skin was hot. "It's okay," Tom whispered. He didn't know if she could hear him. "I'll help you." She opened her eyes just a little. They were large and bright, not normal eyes. But there was fear in them, and pain. Tom took a deep breath and opened his bag. He cleaned the burn with care, using water and cloth. He put cool gel over it. He worked slowly, gently. Her body shivered once, then stayed still. She didn't speak, but she didn't pull away. He knew he couldn't leave her here. The night was getting cold, and the air smelled bad from the crash. He wrapped her in his jacket and lifted her into his arms. "You're light," he said to her, though she couldn't answer. She was warm, almost too warm to hold. But Tom kept walking, step by step, back through the forest toward his home. It took time. His legs grew tired. The path was dark, but the stars helped. When he finally reached his house, he laid her on the old bed near the fire. He made sure the fire was small, not too hot, just enough to keep her warm. He cleaned the burn again and covered it with soft cloth. He checked her breathing. It was steady now, but weak. Tom sat nearby, watching her. He had never seen anyone like her before. She was not from Earth. He was sure of that, but she was not a monster. She was just hurt, lost, alone. Hours passed. The night was quiet. Tom didn't sleep. He made sure she was safe. In the early morning, she opened her eyes again. This time, they stayed open. She looked around slowly. Her hand moved toward her shoulder, but stopped when she felt the bandage. Tom leaned forward. "You're safe," he said. "My name is Tom. I found you after the crash." She looked at him, her eyes full of questions. Then, in a soft voice, she spoke one word. It was not in his language, but then she tried again. "You saved me." Tom nodded. "I tried." "You were hurt." She touched the cloth on her shoulder. "Fire. It hurt. But now, less pain." Tom smiled. "I did my best." She looked at him for a long time. Then her eyes slowly closed again. She fell into sleep. But this time it was a peaceful sleep. Tom sat back and stared at the ceiling. He didn't know who she was, where she came from, or why she crashed. But he knew one thing: she was alive because of him. Outside, the sky began to turn gold. A new day was starting. Inside, the alien woman rested, her chest rising and falling slowly. Her teal skin looked softer now. She had survived the crash, and Tom had taken the first step into something far bigger than he understood. But in his heart, he felt no fear, only calm, only purpose. He would take care of her. no matter what came next. Tom kept the fire low through the morning. He didn't want the room too hot. The alien woman still lay on his old bed, resting. Her breathing was better now, more calm and steady. The burn on her shoulder was still red, but it no longer looked dangerous. He had done what he could. Tom made soup with vegetables from his garden. He didn't know if she could eat human food, but he had to try. He placed the bowl on a table near the bed and sat beside her, waiting. The room was quiet except for the soft sound of the fire. After some time, the woman opened her eyes again. She moved her head slowly and looked at the bowl. Her eyes, large and shining, showed a mix of confusion and wonder. She sat up a little, but winced in pain. Easy, Tom said. He helped her sit back gently and placed a pillow behind her. She looked at him and then spoke again. Her voice was quiet, a little shaky. Where am I? You're safe. Tom said, My name is Tom. This is my home. I found you after your crash. You were hurt. She looked around the room. The walls were made of wood. Tools hung near the door. A small window showed trees and light wind outside. You helped me, she said. Tom nodded. Yes, I treated your burn. Do you remember what happened? She shook her head slowly. I was escaping. Then, fire. I crashed. Tom leaned forward. Escaping from what? She looked down. Silent for a few seconds. Then she whispered, Bad people. I could not follow orders. So I ran. Tom didn't push her for more. He could see she was scared. She needed time. What is your name? He asked. She looked at him, then touched her chest lightly. Vera. Tom smiled. That's a nice name. Vera. She gave a small smile and returned. Tom brought the bowl of soup to her hands. She looked at it, then at him. It's food, Tom said. Safe to eat, from my garden. Vera lifted the bowl slowly. She smelled it first, then took a small sip. Her eyes widened a little. It's warm, she said, and good. Tom laughed softly. That's the first time someone said that. About my cooking. She tilted her head, trying to understand his words. But her smile showed she knew he meant something kind. After the meal, she lay back down. Tom brought more water and changed the cloth on her burn. She didn't pull away this time. Her body was still warm, almost too warm. But it didn't seem to hurt her now. As the day passed, Vera told Tom small things. She came from a world where heat was part of life. Her people could hold fire in their bodies. It helped them live and travel. But if they were wounded, their fire could fade. That's what happened to her. My fire is low, she said, but your care helped it stay. Tom didn't fully understand, but he listened. He saw the truth in her eyes. He didn't see a soldier or a threat. He saw someone lost and hurt, trying to survive. That night, the wind outside became stronger. The sky turned gray. A storm was coming. Tom checked the windows and made sure the fire would last through the night. He placed a blanket over Vera. She looked at the flames in the small fireplace. Your fire is soft, she said. Tom looked at her. Do you mean the heat? She nodded. It does not burn, but it comforts. Tom sat on the chair near the bed. I used to think fire was only dangerous. It destroyed a barn near here once. But then I learned how to use it right. Vera looked at him with deep eyes. My people do not fear fire. We are born with it. Tom leaned back in his chair. That's hard to imagine. You helped me, she said. Now, maybe my fire can return. Tom didn't speak right away. He watched the flames. He was still trying to understand everything, but deep inside, he felt something strong. Not fear, not duty, something warmer. That night, Vera could not sleep. The storm made soft howling sounds. She sat up and looked out the window. The trees moved in the wind. The rain had not started yet. Tom woke up when he heard her moving. You okay? He asked. She nodded. I feel strange. Tom stood and came to her side. Pain? She shook her head. No, I feel heat inside. It is not pain. It is waking. Tom touched her forehead. It was warmer than before, but not in a bad way. She looked calmer. Her eyes were brighter. You said your people hold fire. He said, "Is that fire returning?" She nodded. "Maybe. You gave care. You gave peace. My body remembers fire now." Tom didn't know what to say. He just stayed close. She didn't seem afraid of the storm, but she also didn't want to be alone. Vera whispered, "You are not like the others." "What do you mean?" "Most turn away from us or fight, but you came near. You touched my burn. You gave healing." Tom looked at her hand. It rested on the bed, fingers long and smooth. Not human, but not strange anymore. "I didn't do anything special," he said. Vera looked at him, her eyes glowing faintly. "You did more than you know." They sat in silence, the fire crackling low. By the time the rain came, Vera was asleep again. Her breath was strong, her body still warm. And Tom, for the first time in a long while, didn't feel alone. Something new had started between them. He didn't know what it was yet, but it felt right. The storm ended by morning. The ground was wet outside. Raindrops still hung from the trees. Birds began to sing again. The air felt fresh and quiet inside the small wooden house. Vera was awake. She stood near the window, looking out at the soft light in the sky. Her shoulder was still wrapped, but she moved better now. Her steps were careful, but steady. Tom was in the kitchen, making warm tea. He saw her standing there and smiled. "You look stronger," he said. Vera turned toward him. "I feel different today. My fire is waking." Tom poured the tea into 2 cups. "You keep saying fire. What do you mean exactly?" Vera took the cup in both hands and sat on the chair near the window. She looked at the steam rising from the cup, then spoke. "In my world," she said slowly, "we are born with fire inside us. Not like your fire. Ours is life. It is part of our blood. It gives us energy, warmth, and voice." Tom sat across from her. "You mean like your spirit?" She shook her head. "No, it is real. You can feel it." When I crashed, the fire inside me fell low. The cold hurt me. The burn on my shoulder damaged the flow of fire. Tom thought about her words. "So when I helped you, the care helped the fire return." Vera nodded. "Yes, you gave peace. That opened the path again." She placed her hand on her chest. "We have 2 fires. The first is given at birth. The second only comes through strong connection. It is rare." Tom looked confused. "You mean like love?" Vera shook her head again. "Not love, not duty. It is bond. When someone touches the fire without fear. When someone brings light to another in dark times. That is second fire." Tom looked down at his hands. He remembered her eyes that first night. He remembered how hot her skin felt, how he didn't pull away. He had just wanted to help. "Do your people have names?" he asked. "What are they called?" "We are called Solari," Vera answered. "People of the inner heat. We live in cities near flame rivers. Our homes are built on stone. Heat is part of our world. It feeds our homes, our ships, our lives." Tom leaned forward. "Is that how your ship flew? With heat?" "Yes," she said. "Our ships hold fire at their center. It is safe when stable. But mine was broken during the escape. It lost balance, then it fell." Tom felt quiet. He looked out the window. The sky was clear now. He could still see smoke from the crash site in the far hills. "Are others coming?" he asked. "People from your world." Vera stayed silent for a moment. "They may follow." "Not all. Only those who want to take me back." "Why?" Tom asked. "I refused their path," Vera said. "I was part of a royal group. They told us to burn another world. I said no. That is why I ran." Tom looked at her carefully. "You're a leader." "No," she replied. "I was a chosen one, not yet a ruler. But I had voice. I used it. They did not like that." Tom stood up and walked to the shelf. He picked up a small glass bottle and poured clean water into it. Then he brought it to Vera. "You need to keep your strength," he said. She took the bottle and drank slowly. Then she looked at him and said, "You asked if the fire is like love. I will tell you what it is." Tom sat back down and listened. "The first fire gives life, but it is weak when alone. The second fire is strong. It lights when someone else adds to it. It makes us more than we were. It is not love, but it is deeper. Tom didn't speak. He felt something strange in his chest. Not fear, not confusion, just warmth. You feel it too. Vera said, your hands carried me. Your care touched more than skin. You lit my fire when I could not. Tom looked into her eyes. They were calm, glowing just a little. Not bright, not scary, just steady. I didn't mean to do anything special, Tom said. Exactly. Vera replied. That is why it worked. She stood slowly and walked to the center of the room. Her body moved with grace now. Her steps were quiet, her back straight. She raised her hand and closed her eyes. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a small spark floated above her palm. It was red-orange, gentle, and smooth. It danced in the air like a tiny light. Tom gasped. It was beautiful. This is my fire returning, Vera said. Because of you? Tom stepped forward. Will it hurt you? No, she said. It heals me, and it answers me now. The spark faded slowly. Vera lowered her hand. She turned to Tom and spoke softly. In my people's words, I must now honor the one who gives second fire. That is our law. That is my choice. You mean a life debt? Tom asked. Not debt, she said. Bond, you gave fire. I now carry yours with mine. Tom was quiet. He didn't know what to say. He had only tried to help someone in pain. Now he was part of something far beyond him. Vera looked at him again. My fire now holds your kindness. I will not forget, even if others come. Tom nodded. Then we'll face them together. Outside, the sun moved higher in the sky. Light filled the room. Inside, a bond had formed, quiet but strong, and far beyond the stars. Others had started to follow the trail of fire. The days passed quietly at first. Vera's body grew stronger. Her shoulder healed fast. The fire inside her, as she called it, returned little by little. Sometimes, in the early morning, Tom saw her standing in the sunlight, her skin glowing. Faintly, she moved with calm now, not weakness. Tom made sure no one from the town came near. He stayed away from the radio. He didn't want to answer questions. The people in town didn't trust outsiders, and if they saw Vera, they might panic. She was safe here, hidden among trees and hills. One afternoon, while Tom was planting seeds outside, Vera stood at the edge of the forest. Her eyes looked far toward the sky. They're close, she said. Tom looked up. The sky was clear. No ships, no sound. Just clouds and birds. Who? He asked. Vera turned to him. Hunters, from my world. They will not stop. They want to take me back. Or silence me. Tom stood. How do you know they're near? I feel their fire, Vera said. It is different from mine. Sharp, cold inside, even when it burns. Tom didn't fully understand. But he believed her. He had seen her powers. She was honest and calm. If she said someone was coming, it was true. He walked with her back to the house. Inside, he began checking his old tools. He didn't have weapons, just farm gear and repair tools. But he knew how to protect what mattered. He had done it before. I'll hide you, he said. There's an old cave beyond the hill. No one knows it's there. You can stay there until it's safe. Vera shook her head. I will not run. Again. But I will wait. I will not let you stand in front of danger alone. Tom looked at her. You're not alone here. That night, they packed supplies. Water, cloth, food, a small radio, and a light source. Tom wrapped everything in a strong bag. Vera helped, her hands moving quickly. Her energy was clear now. She no longer looked like someone who needed saving. Before dawn, they reached the cave. It was hidden behind thick trees and stones. Tom had found it years ago while exploring. The inside was dry and cool. He had left a blanket and old tools there. This will be safe. Tom said, I'll cover the entrance with branches. They won't see it from the air. Vera looked around the cave. It feels quiet. I can wait here. Tom left her there and returned to the house. He didn't like the idea of leaving her alone, but he knew it was the smart choice. Later that day, something strange happened. A high sound filled the air. Not loud, but sharp and clear. Tom ran outside and looked up. A small ship moved across the sky. Silent and fast, it was not like any Earth ship. Its body was dark silver, and it left no trail. It circled once, then vanished into the clouds. Tom rushed back inside. He opened the radio, but there was only static. No one in town had seen it. Or maybe they didn't say anything. Still, Tom knew. Vera was right. The hunters had arrived. That evening, Tom went back to the cave. Vera sat near the back wall. Her eyes closed. A soft orange light came from her hands. She was breathing slowly, her body still. When Tom entered, she opened her eyes. They are close now. They will search the land. Tom nodded. I saw their ship. They will not leave without me, she said. Then we'll make sure they don't find you, Tom replied. Vera touched the wall beside her. I will stay here and build my fire. It will protect me if they find me. Tom looked at her. What if they come to the house? She looked at him with steady eyes. Then you leave. You are not part of this. I am now, Tom said. Whether I asked for it or not, Vera stood. Her hand touched his arm. You gave me second. Fire. I do not want you in danger. Tom smiled. I've lived through storms and sickness. I'll live through this too. The next morning, the hunters came. Tom saw them from far away, 3 figures in dark suits, walking across the fields near the crash site. They moved like soldiers, but not like Earth soldiers. Their steps were slow, but heavy. Their faces were covered by thin masks. They reached the broken ship, looked around, then split into 3 paths. One walked toward the forest. Tom stayed low and quiet. He didn't go near Vera. He watched the hunter from a distance, the Manor. Whatever he was moved with purpose. His hands glowed faintly with the same fire Vera had shown, but colder. The hunter walked past the house but didn't stop. He followed the edge of the trees. Tom held his breath. When night came, all 3 hunters returned to the ship. They hadn't found her. Not yet. Tom returned to the cave. They're searching, he said, but they don't know where you are. Vera stood, her body glowing stronger now. Tomorrow, they will look deeper. I must be ready. Tom sat beside her. What will you do? Vera looked toward the cave's entrance. I will face them, but not with fear. I will speak the words of the bond. If they hear it, they must follow the law of fire. Will it work? Tom asked. I don't know, she said, but I must try. Tom nodded. He looked at her, the light on her skin, the calm in her voice. She had come far from the day she crashed, and so had he. Whatever came next, they would face it together. The next morning, the air felt heavy, the sky was gray, and the wind moved through the trees in short bursts. Tom stood near the edge of the forest, watching the fields. The hunters were back. They walked slowly, scanning the ground. One of them stopped and touched the earth. A faint glow came from his fingers. Then he turned toward the hills. They were getting closer to the cave. Tom's chest grew tight. He turned and rushed back through the trees, careful not to break branches or leave a trail. When he reached the hidden cave, he found Vera sitting with her eyes closed, her hands glowing with warm orange light. They are coming, Tom said. Vera opened her eyes. She didn't look afraid. I know, she said. Their fire calls to mine. They will reach us soon. Tom looked around the cave. We still have time. We can block the path. Hide you deeper? No, Vera said softly. I must face them. Tom stepped forward. They won't listen. Maybe, she said. But I carry second fire now. There's law in my people. If I show the mark of bond, they must hear me. She stood and touched the stone wall with her hand. A line of fire spread from her palm. It burned in a pattern Tom didn't understand. Like a symbol. It glowed for a few seconds, then faded. I will not run again, she said. If they try to take me, I will use the fire inside me. Tom looked into her eyes. Then I'll stand beside you. Vera reached out and placed her hand over his heart. You already stand with me, she said. Your care lit my second fire. It lives in me now. It gives me strength. Her hand stayed there a moment longer. Tom felt warmth spread across his chest, not hot, but steady, strong, like light filling a quiet room. Then she stepped back. "They're close." Tom picked up a long wooden stick from the cave wall. He didn't have a weapon, but he would not leave her unprotected. They waited in silence. Soon, the sound of footsteps echoed through the trees. One hunter appeared first. His body was covered in silver armor that moved like skin. His eyes glowed, pale blue behind a thin mask. He stopped at the entrance of the cave and stared at Vera. "Vera of the Solari," he said in a low voice. "You are ordered to return." Vera stepped forward. "I have second fire. You know the law. Do more." Hunters appeared behind the first. They stood still, watching. "You are bound to fire," the first said, "but you left your place. You refused command." "I did," Vera replied, "because it was wrong. I will not light the sky for war. I chose another path." The second hunter spoke. "You have no proof of bond." Vera raised her hand. Fire lit in her palm, bright and soft. "This flame is not from birth," she said. "This is second fire, lit by another, a human." The hunters looked at Tom. He stood still beside her, silent. The first hunter stepped closer. "A human cannot give fire. He gave kindness when I was broken," Vera said. "He gave warmth without fear. My fire lives again because of him." The hunters were quiet for a long moment. Then the third one spoke. "If your bond is true, then speak the name." Vera turned to Tom. She placed her hand in his. "Do you trust me?" she asked. Tom nodded. "Yes." Vera looked back at the hunters. "His name is Tom. His hands heal me. His heart lit my second fire. I speak this under the fire oath." A low sound came from the cave walls. The stone glowed behind her, the symbol she drew earlier now burning bright. The hunters took a step back. The symbol answered. One said, "The bond is true. Then she is free." The first one added. Vera lowered her hand. Her fire faded. "I will not return to the palace. I will not bring harm to this world." The lead hunter gave a slow nod. "The bond cannot be broken. You are released." He turned. The others followed. Tom watched them walk into the trees. No one spoke. No fight came. No fire was thrown. Only the quiet rules of an old law had ended the danger. When the hunters disappeared into the distance, Tom turned to Vera. "You did it," he said. Vera looked at him. "No, we did it." Tom smiled. "I thought they would take you." "I did too," she said. "But second fire is rare. They could not ignore it." She stepped close to him. "Now I carry your light inside me, and you carry mine." Tom looked down at his chest. He still felt the warmth she gave him earlier, like a soft glow in his heart. "What does that mean?" he asked. "It means we are linked," Vera said. "Not by power, not by force, but by choice. I will stay with you now, if you let me." Tom didn't speak at first. He looked at her eyes, at her calm face, and the soft glow that lived under her skin. Then he gave a small nod. "I'd like that." They stood together at the edge of the cave. The air was still, the sky clear. The danger was gone, but something else had started. A quiet bond, a new kind of fire. One not born of war, but of care. After the hunters left, the forest felt calm again. The birds returned. The wind moved gently through the trees. But inside Tom's heart, something was still heavy. He had seen the way the hunters looked at Vera. They had accepted her bond. But it didn't feel like peace. It felt like a warning, as if they would watch from a distance. Waiting. Back at the house, Vera stood by the fire. She moved slowly, not from pain, but from thought. Her hands were no longer glowing. Her eyes were steady. "Do you think they'll come back?" Tom asked. Vera shook her head. "Not soon. The bond is law, but they may still speak against me to others. Not all Solari agree with the law of second fire." Tom sat on the edge of the table. "Then we need to be ready." Vera nodded. "Not with weapons, with truth." Tom tilted his head. "What do you mean?" Vera pointed to the small radio. "Your people must know I'm not a threat. If others from Earth come here and see me, I want them to understand. You saw me as a person. Others might not." Tom stood and picked up the radio. He turned the dial until he found the local frequency. It was mostly quiet, with small messages about town life. He took a deep breath. "Are you sure about this?" he asked. "Yes," Vera said. "Let your people hear my voice. Let them know a Solari woman carries a human fire. That will do more than any shield or wall." Tom adjusted the signal and pressed the button. He spoke slowly and clearly. "This is Tom. I live on the edge of the East Forest. I want to share something. There's someone here, not from Earth. Her name is Vera. She's peaceful. She came here by accident. I helped her. She is not here to harm anyone." He passed the radio to Vera. She hesitated for a second, then spoke. "My name is Vera," she said. "I come from a world of fire. I carry the second fire of a human. I am not your enemy. I only ask to stay in peace." Then Tom turned the radio off. "You think anyone will believe it?" he asked. Vera smiled gently. "Maybe not today, but seeds grow, even in hard ground." The next day, Tom went into town. He needed supplies. As he walked through the market, a few people looked at him strangely. An old man asked, "You still living up by the woods?" Tom nodded. "Yes." The man said nothing more. At the supply shop, a woman behind the counter asked, "You the one talking on the radio yesterday?" Tom looked at her. "Yes, I told the truth." She handed him a bag of tools. "Well, that's your business, I guess, long as she stays quiet." Tom didn't argue. He just took what he needed and left. He knew it would take time. Back at the house, Vera was in the garden. She had taken interest in the soil, the water, the small green leaves. Her world had heat, but not earth like this. She knelt near a patch of herbs, touching the plants with wonder. "You did well," she said as Tom walked up. Tom dropped the bag on the steps. "Some people listened, most didn't. They will," she said, "in time." That night, something strange happened. A soft sound filled the sky. It wasn't a hunter ship. It was a human one. A small scout, used for checking air paths and ground scans. It flew over slowly, then turned and left. Vera watched it with quiet eyes. "They are watching too," she said. Tom nodded. "Maybe they heard the radio." The next morning, a message arrived. It came through the radio, a human voice, female, calm and direct. "This is Officer Mara from Earth's Central Station. We received your message. We request a meeting." Tom and Vera looked at each other. "They're coming," Tom said. Vera stood tall. "Then we speak truth. No fire. No fear." Later that day, the ship landed in a clearing near the town. Tom and Vera walked together to meet them. A group of 4 people stood waiting. 3 wore normal suits. One, Mara, wore a dark blue uniform. She stepped forward. "Are you the one called Vera?" Vera nodded. "Yes." "You were rescued by a human man?" Mara asked. "Yes," Vera replied. "He healed me. I carry his second fire now." Mara looked surprised. "I don't know what that means," Vera explained. She used simple words, calm voice, and clear eyes. She told them about her world, about the fire inside, and about the bond between her and Tom. Mara listened carefully. The others stayed quiet. When Vera finished, Mara turned to Tom. "You believe all this?" she asked. Tom said, "I saw it with my own eyes. She's not a threat. She's more human than many humans I've met." Mara looked at her team, then back at Vera. "Earth has never made contact with a Solari. But if what you say is true, you are the first, and your bond is proof of peace." Vera bowed her head. "I ask only for peace. I ask to stay." Mara thought for a moment, then said, "We will report this. You may stay here under open watch. No harm will come to you." Vera nodded. "That is enough," as the ship flew away. Tom and Vera stood side by side again. "You didn't use fire," Tom said. "You used words." Vera smiled. "Sometimes the strongest fire is the one that doesn't burn." 2 weeks had passed since the visit from the Earth officials. The air around the forest felt lighter now. There were no more strange ships flying above. No more messages on the radio. No angry faces in town. People still stared at Tom sometimes, but no one said a harsh word. That was enough for now. Vera had changed in small ways too. She no longer looked over her shoulder every few minutes. She didn't speak only in whispers. She started to wear simple clothes that matched the earth style, and she even laughed sometimes. Her soft, calm laugh was like the wind through the trees. Tom had never felt more alive. One morning, Tom was fixing the garden fence when Vera walked up to him with something in her hand. It was a small round stone, bright orange, smooth, and warm. "I found this by the river," she said. "It's from my world. It holds the heat of the sun." Tom touched it. "It's warm." Vera nodded. "It never goes cold, like the fire inside us." Tom looked at her. "You mean the bond?" "Yes," she said. "That fire doesn't burn to hurt. It burns to grow." They sat on the steps, watching the trees move. The world felt quiet, but it wasn't empty. It was peaceful. Vera looked at the sky. "I think I want to build something." Tom raised an eyebrow. "What kind of something?" "A home," she said. "Not a place to hide. A place that is ours. Not just yours, not just mine. Something new, with earth, stone, and solari." Shaped. Tom smiled, like a new flame from two sparks. She nodded. So they began. Every day, they worked on a new structure not far from the cabin. It wasn't big, but it was special. The walls were part wood, part metal. Vera shaped the inside with soft curves, like her people did. Tom handled the strong parts, the frame, the roof, the doors. She painted the inside with natural colors from plants. He built shelves and chairs. Together, they built a home that felt like both their worlds. Sometimes people from the town came to see. Some brought small gifts. One brought honey. Another brought seeds. An old woman even gave them a handmade blanket. "We don't understand her," she said kindly, "but I can see she cares for you. That's enough for me." Tom and Vera thanked them. They didn't need much. The kindness of strangers was more than enough. One evening, as the sun set, Vera stood near the house, looking at the horizon. Her eyes were deep and bright, like stars behind a soft fog. "You know," she said, "on my world, fire is not just heat. It's memory. It holds what we are. Every bond, every promise becomes part of the flame." Tom looked at her. "What will our fire hold?" Vera stepped closer. She held the orange stone in her hand again. She placed it into the ground near the door of their new home. "It will hold the day you healed me, the day you didn't fear me, the day you stood with me, and the days we build this together." Tom looked down at the stone. "Will it glow?" "No," she said. "It will stay warm, even when winter comes." The next morning, a letter came from Earth Central. A scout brought it by hand. It had a golden stamp. Tom read it aloud while Vera stood beside him. "To Tom and Vera, we officially welcome the bond between Solari and human as a sign of peace. Earth Council has agreed that peaceful aliens, like Vera, may request stay as long as no harm is done. Let this be the beginning of understanding. Let this be the first fire, not the last." Vera smiled. They accepted. Tom nodded. The world is changing. That night, they sat by the fire outside the house. Not a fire for cooking or for warmth, just a simple flame, a quiet symbol. Vera held out her hand. A soft, golden glow appeared just above her palm. "Not many Solari can do this," she said. "But the second fire is strong in me now." Tom watched as the glow hovered, like a soft light, warm but not burning. She let it drift into the air, where it faded slowly. "You said you'd burn for me," Tom said gently. Vera turned to him. "Yes, and you burn for me too. Not with heat, but with care. That's a better fire." He reached for her hand. "Then let's burn together, for a good reason." She leaned her head on his shoulder. The wind moved through the trees again, soft and peaceful. The stars above seemed brighter. No war, no fear, just two people, from two different worlds, who found something rare. Not by force, not by luck, but by choice. And from that choice, a fire was born. One that would never harm. One that would never go cold.